Gloomy Galleon is a vast and deep water level, with two main areas that branch out from the starting location. The water level can be manipulated up and down, but it's typically fastest to just raise the water level and then never touch it again, due to the ease of getting past obstacles that require said water manipulation. Glitches able to be performed in water actually break this level wide open. I'm Glorious Liar, and this is another installation of my glitch explanation series. This is Exploiting Gloomy Galleon in DK64. Let's start off with Donkey Kong. Spawning at the beginning of the level means that the main areas of Gloomy Galleon are not properly loaded into memory yet, and objects within them, such as golden bananas, are in their default state. This leads into our first exploit. First we must get tag barrel storage. TBS is achieved by entering a tag barrel while transitioning into a new state. Not all state transitions work, but a conveniently easy one is achieved by doing a skid jump, a frame-perfect skid and jump, and uncrouching as you enter the barrel. This causes the Kong to fall out of the barrel, giving the player control, and crucially locking the camera into place while facing the tag barrel object. If from here we were to traverse the level blind, like I have done in this clip, we could make our way over to an unloaded golden banana object, such as the one for freeing the seal. Its default state is collectible, and since the camera never left the entrance to the level, it's waiting by the seal race to be collected. This is called Spawn Snag. This trick skips going through the Baboon Blast course to free the seal. Inside the seal race, we have an interesting skip for the race. Right out of the gate, DK can approach the median and clip inside by sliding slowly to the edge of the platform and falling down, partially clipping inside. This is a fairly easy variant of the ledge clip that is common elsewhere in the game. From here, we can navigate to the opposite ramp, which is close to a sunken ship that holds the prize for winning the race, a golden banana. By getting forced deep underwater by the ceiling of the ramp, we can exit at a low point, and the buoyant force of the water propels us up so high in the air that we can clip into the ship by clearing the invisible walls surrounding it. This banana can actually be duped, meaning collected multiple times, because it will continue to exist in the ship if we leave the level and come back. That is not allowed in most speedruns though. Lanky, as well as other Kongs, have a higher boat speed. DK's boat speed was specifically dampened for the seal race, most likely to avoid clipping scenarios, but all the other Kongs have a higher boat speed. This is likely because the higher boat speed is fairly critical of beating Puff Toss. Lanky can use this speed to his advantage. By clipping into the seal race with a glitch called Swim Through Vertical Walls, Lanky can compete in the race. Using the absurd boat speed, simply ramming into the wall with good speed and positioning clips the player right through the boat. Conveniently, this special banana can be collected with any Kong, and this is convenient for routing and easier execution of the skip in 101% speedruns, for example. Next up, let's talk about Diddy. In the mechanical fish, Diddy needs to shoot out 3 lights that are blocked by a spinning fan, all while under a strict timer. Casually, this task can be a nightmare because waiting out the spinning of the fan and the abundance of lag causes it to be quite the challenge. However, there is a technique called double shot that bypasses the normal sequence of events, allowing you to shoot out the lights before they are technically active and ready to be shot. An easy way to activate this effect is by walking up to the lower light and damaging it with the splash damage of oranges. Once this effect is active, you'll notice that we can shoot out the upper lights while the fan is still spinning, which typically doesn't work. There are other ways to activate the double shot, but this one is quite simple and effective if done correctly. I mentioned this briefly before, but Swim Through Vertical Walls is quite powerful when attempting to get inside many of the sub-areas of the level, such as the 5-door ship. STVW is activated by entering first person in a specific set of angles called the phase angles, which causes the Kong to be able to pass through many forms of vertical collision unimpeded. This is convenient for Diddy because the entrance to his area of the ship is opposite the orientation of the phase angles, making a clip difficult. However, Chunky and Diddy share a sub-area, so by clipping through the bars above Chunky's room, Diddy can get inside. Once on Chunky's side, we're one more STVW away from Diddy's side, and we can get everything inside without issue. Now back to Lanky. Using the Swim Through Vertical Walls method just described, Lanky can get inside his 2-door ship and his 5-door ship sub-areas, which both contain golden bananas. This is the classic way in which speedrunners have gotten early access to these areas. However, in the last few years, routing and glitch hunting have brought us to a better method which is typically preferred. I'm talking about Noclip. I have a whole video on this topic because it is quite useful and interesting. Noclip isn't exactly new, but it wasn't explicitly routed into anything until it was made consistent. Remember what I said about default states? The default state for the platform holding Warp 2 puts us at the low water location for Galleon. By raising the water and keeping the Warp 2 platform unloaded, zipping immediately upon landing on the pad holding Z loads the low water coordinates for the zip. This causes the animation on the other end to get interrupted by entering water, and conveniently, warp pads give the Noclip effects. The interruption preserves the Noclip effect. This means that collision is effectively non-existent. With this in mind, we can straight up pass through any obstacles blocking sub-areas. On to Tiny Kong. Tiny's submarine in the depths of Galleon is quite easy to clip into. By slowly swimming into the bottom lip of the entrance, Tiny will just straight up clip through the lower boundary, ending up inside the submerged object where the loading zone is. This next thing I am going to bring up is very interesting. I'm not sure if anyone has connected the dots like I have, but I'm sure I'm not the first one to point this out. Out of bounds in the submarine is a tree and 3 vines. Its setup looks similar to that of the vine training barrel from the start of the game. When looking at the map values in memory for each area, Tiny's submarine value is actually sandwiched between the other training barrel map values sequentially, which leads me to the theory that this map was previously designated as a training barrel, but repurposed later in development. Can't say for sure, but I still think it's fascinating that this remnant is here. After defeating Puff Toss, the Trough and Scoff portals will disappear. In the room north of the 3-way split in the hallway near the entrance, this allows us to clip out of bounds with ease. By correctly positioning and backflipping at the wall, which is weak right above where the portal used to be, we can clip out. This is a convenient place to void for certain categories. You could also navigate to other areas of the level from this high out-of-bounds location. This has also been utilized in 101%. Next, let's talk about Chunky Kong. Chunky has a golden banana in the lighthouse area after entering K. Rool's ship. After traversing a room full of cannons and punching down a gate, there is a stack of spinning barrels that you must punch through to get to a golden banana. If you do this normally, Chunky will be seasick after collecting the banana, which reverses your control scheme and causes weird on-screen effects. This is unnecessary, however, because you can just climb up the wall next to the stack. The banana descends with each barrel broken, and in this demonstration I show that you can get to it after breaking only one of them with a skid jump double jump. Collecting it in this way means you will not get seasick. Lastly, I want to explain Escape for Chunky's cannon game. Like with DK's Seal Golden Banana, there is a straightforward way to spawn snag it. First we need to clip out of bounds at the entrance, which is right next to the room with the cannon game. A simple way to do this is called phase falling, performed here with the fairy camera. By doing a skid jump and pulling out the camera at the apex in the phase direction, exiting first person causes Chunky to fall with the phase property. This allows us to phase through the wall and get out of bounds next to the cannon game room. From here we can traverse the out of bounds area and get directly behind where the golden banana is by default. You can tell it's there and collectible by the shimmering effect. Now we're just a backflip away from collecting it, being careful not to load the room, which would cause the banana to disappear. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Gloomy Galleon is one of my favorite levels thematically, and it has a lot to offer in terms of exploits. If you like these sort of videos, let me know. I'll see you next time.